One of the most common things that you'll do with the layout builder is modify the layout for a content type. In this tutorial, we're going to override the default view mode for the basic page content type so that it uses layout builder instead of the normal field display options. Then we'll create a new 2-column flexible layout using the user interface. And finally, we'll place blocks into the layout that represent the content that we want rendered. Just a note, if you haven't done so already, you'll need to enable the Drupal core layout builder and layout discovery modules before proceeding. Here's an example of what we're going to create. A layout for the basic page content type with 2 columns on the top for metadata, like the author and authored on date, and a single wide column underneath for the primary content, like the page body. The first thing that you need to do is enable the use of Layout Builder for the basic page content type. In the main admin menu, navigate to Structure, and then Content Types, and in the row for Basic Page, choose the Manage Display operation. With the Layout Builder module enabled, at the bottom of the page here, you should see this new Use Layout Builder option. If I check the box and press Save, you'll notice that the previous Field Display UI is gone and it's replaced with the Layout Builder button here. You should also notice that this is on a per view mode basis. So right now I have Layout Builder enabled for the default view mode, but not any other view mode. If I press the Manage Layout button, this will open the Layout Builder user interface. By default, Layout Builder tries to replicate whatever you had previously configured with the field display options, which in this case basically means it just puts everything into a single column and then attempts to preserve the field order and formatting options. There's a checkbox here for Show Content Preview. Right now with it enabled, I see some dummy content placed into the layout, so the body here. If I uncheck the box, it toggles to the field label display mode. So now I see the names of the fields that are displayed rather than the preview content. I prefer this mode for creating new layouts. To start building your layout, the first thing you might want to do is change this default section name to something a bit more useful than just section 1. I can click Configure Section 1 and it'll open a pane over here where I can configure that. Under Administrative Label, I'll change this to something like Main Content and then press the Update button and it'll update the name of that section. Next, I want to add a new section above the existing one for our 2 columns of metadata. To do this, press Add Section, which will open a list of available layouts. Right now, this list just contains the ones that come with core. We'll talk later about how you can add to this list. Go ahead and choose the 2-column option and then configure it. The 2-column option has a configuration that allows you to choose the width of the different columns. Do you want them equal width? Do you want one wider than the other? I'm going to go with the 25% on the left, 75% on the right option. Give my column sections here a label. I'll call this content prefix and then click Add Section. You can see I've now added these 2 columns into my layout preview. Now I need to put some content into these sections. I do this by placing blocks inside the defined sections. When you use the layout builder, for every field that's associated with your content type, basic page in this case, there's a corresponding block that we can place. In addition to those field blocks, you can also place any regular Drupal block. I'll click Add Block, which will open the configuration pane. And then in this case, I want to add the authored by field to the left column here. So I'll choose authored by. The configuration options that you see here for the field block are the same as the field display formatter options you see when using the field display user interface. I can change those options, so I'll hide the label and I'll change the formatter to author and press Add Block. It adds that field. I can repeat those steps for the authored on block. So I click Add Block and then authored on. I'll hide the label. I'll leave the date format settings as is, press Add Block. So that should be working. Now for the right column, I want to do something a little bit different. In this space, I want to place a call to action that'll appear on every basic page so that the content's going to be the same across all the pages. Versus something like the authored by field, which will be different depending on the page that you're viewing and who authored it. To do this, I can click Add Block and then Create Custom Block. This opens a new interface with a form for creating a custom content block. I'm going to call mine Newsletter CTA. I'll populate it with some content. Once you're happy with the content for that block, you can scroll down to the bottom here and click the Add Block button. This will add your custom block to the layout. I can preview that my layout is looking the way I want it to by toggling the Show Content Preview checkbox here. I can see an example author name and a created date. I can see the content of my custom CTA block, the body field below. This is looking pretty good. Once you're happy with the way your layout looks, you need to press the Save Layout button in order to save your layout. That'll take you back to the Manage Display page. Finally, you can test that it's working by either viewing an existing basic page node or creating a new one. I'll go to Content, find a basic page node in the list. When I view it, sure enough, you can see that it's using my new 2-column layout with the author information here, my CTA, and the body field down below. In this tutorial, we configured the basic page content type's default view mode to use Layout Builder instead of the field display options. We created a new 2-column layout using the user interface, and then we placed content into that layout in the form of blocks.